Video location, Guatemala. Video topic, seeking to understand. When I was younger, being a Christian at school was mockable. School was the first real opportunity that we get to really come up against people that have different opinions, different interests, and just different ways of doing things. And we quickly make an assessment of ourselves and what will enable us to be liked by people and what it is that we have that isn't liked by people. And we usually do one of two things. We usually either embrace the things that we have that are different, and we say, you know what, you'll like me the way I am, and we embrace it, or you do what I did, and you push the things that you're fearful that people won't like you for to the side, and you become somebody that you think people will like. And I know that was the case for me, that the faith thing especially, going to church was a different thing altogether. And I kind of pushed it to the side, and I felt, do you know what, this is a weird, I'm going to leave you over there to simmer for later, for the odd Sunday and the odd special occasion. And I very much left school feeling like it was a weird thing in our society today. That was up until a few years later, where I began to start to explore what it was to have a theist belief. That is a belief in God. What it was to go to church, and why do people go to different places of worship. And ironically, I found that whether you believe in one God, 10 gods, or 35.7 gods, or whether you believe in no gods at all, you have a pretty crazy belief. Let me just try and explain. Some scientists believe that the earth was created from nothing, that there was a huge explosion, and we have what we've got today. It's called the Big Bang Theory, and it's called theory for a reason, because there's not 100% evidence that that was the case. It is a theory, it is just that. Although, on the other hand, a God-created world, a belief that a being outside of matter, space and time, whole system, is a crazy belief as well. Let's not get that twisted, that a God would come in and create this all for us and just leave us here to try and figure out what life's all about. But what really bothers me is that we've got kids in school that might come from that faith background, that are the minority, and that are mocked for having those views, based on the fact that everybody in the whole room has a crazy view of some kind, as I've just clarified. There are young people at universities, there are adults at workplaces that are considered different, or the minority, or to have considered strange and weird, because they've got this view of how the earth was created. After research of my own, I've personally come to the conclusion, and that's open to change. I'm not saying that what I believe is stone cold fact. I've come to the conclusion that the Christian worldview is and makes the most sense. And that's not from from fully knowing, but wholeheartedly believing. And I've come to that conclusion from the research I've done, the experiences I've had, and where they all stand biblically. How often is it that we talk about the things that, quite frankly, we've got no idea about? I think this is part of the reason that those that have travelled, would be able to understand different perspectives just that little bit better, that you've seen someone else's life, that quite literally you might have had to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Before judgment, we have to at least understand why people hold the views they do, what's brought them to that point. It's easier to get talked out of something that you've never really been talked into. For me, I was given the communication bug. I love communicating message that I fully believe in. Now, in the past, I've used that for negative and positive, but it's really important for me to communicate a message clearly and for people to understand the intentions that I've got at heart. I haven't always done that the right way, but I'm constantly seeking to understand how to do that better. Sharing a passion that you've got can be difficult enough without it being received badly. We've all started at different places. We've all walked a completely different path, which has brought us to a different destination. How valuable would it be if we spent less time talking and more time listening to where people are coming from their perspective? If you like what you've heard on this video, please, I'd love you to share this on your Facebook page or even share this on your Instagram story with a clear goal of reaching other people. I love the whole talk about faith, and I just want to open that door for more conversations to be had. Thanks, guys.